Yo, what's poppin', boys and girls? I'm sorry. Hacker here. Welcome back to my fourth tutorial in my scripting series, Noob to Pro, where I'm going to transform all of you guys from noob scripters into pro scripters. And today I'm going to teach you guys all about conditionals, or basically if statements. So let's say you're in a game, and there's one item you're saving up points to buy. For instance, in Phantom Forces you're saving up for a new gun. Or like in Welcome to Bloxburg, you're saving up to buy a new house, right? In order to buy that new house, the game has to determine whether or not you have enough money or points to buy said house. Well, that's where conditionals or the if statement comes in. The if statement allows the game to determine whether or not the player has enough points to buy something. So let's just first create our script by right-clicking Server Script Service, Insert Object, and Script. So now that we have our new script, let's first create the if statement. So we're going to type in if food is equal to food, then enter, and I'm going to add print eat. Also note that unlike variables, which uses one equal sign, conditionals have to use double equal sign. And the two equal signs are basically exclusively used for checking whether or not a condition is met. You can also represent not equals by typing tilde equals instead, but more on that later. Also, just as a quick note, the if statement runs whenever the condition is true or exists. However, it won't run when the condition is false or nil, which just means non-existent or nothingness. So if I were to run this code, the if statement checks if food is equal to food, which it is, so it'll print eat. However, if I change this food to foods, and because since food is not actually equal to foods, eat will no longer print out. As you can see with this if statement, you can kind of read it like a sentence. If you read it out, it's literally if food is equal to food. Oh, sorry, gotta get rid of this. Then do this, which is the code between the then and the end, which coincidentally is just eat. You can also think of an if statement as something that runs when you satisfy a condition. In this case, the condition being food being equal to food. However, since food is always equal to food, let's just assign this food variable. Let's just create a food variable called yummy and just replace this one and replace this food. And now I'm creating my variable. Local yummy is equal to food. Pretty simple. And now when I run the code, as you can see, it still prints out eat. And that makes sense because yummy, which is equal to food, is still equal to food. So this statement will still run. Now, what if I change our variable value to foods? Well, you guys are probably already thinking it won't run, and if you were thinking that, then correct, it won't run because foods isn't equal to food. That's pretty standard, pretty straightforward. So I have a challenge for y'all. The challenge is to create a new variable called name, set its value to your name, and then make an if statement that runs if the condition value is equal to your name. If it is, print out your name in variable form. Feel free to pause the video while I give you a few seconds to code. Have you finished yet? Well, that's too bad, because this is a video and I have no time to wait, so if you're still coding, you better pause this video, otherwise you'll see the answer to the code without writing the code. I hope that makes sense. So anyways, here's a potential solution to the challenge. Actually, no, this is not a potential solution to the challenge, because none of you guys here are hacker. Only me, only I am hacker. But anyways, for the purposes of this video, and because of the fact that I am indeed hacker, I set the variable equal to hacker. So what is happening that as I created my variable called name, and then I set name equal to hacker, and then I made an if statement to check whether the variable name is equal to hacker, and since it is, it prints out hacker. In your case, it may print out John. So what is happening here is that I created my variable called name and set it equal to hacker. Then I checked if name is equal to row hacker, which in your case might be John. And yes, I'm certain that there's going to be a John out there wondering that if I'm talking to him. And if that's the case, then yes, I am. Anyways, as I was saying, so I created my variable, set it equal to row hacker, and then I checked if it was equal to row hacker, which it is. So it just prints out row hacker down here. Now I'm going to show you other comparators other than the double equal sign shown here. Which are the greater than equal to's, greater than, less than equal to, and less than operator. And these work well with numbers. To demonstrate how they work, I'm just gonna quickly change the variable name and change it to number, and I'm gonna set it equal to 3. And then I'm gonna replace this name with number, and I'm gonna replace equals with greater than equal to, and row hacker with just 2. So this if statement will check if the number, which is 3, is greater than equal to, and then this will run. If I were to change this to greater than, this if statement only runs if the number is greater than 2. So since 3 is greater than 2, it'll still run. If I change this to less than, if number is less than 2, then run, but 3 is not less than 2, so it won't run. And if I change this to less than or equal to, you check whether or not number is less than or equal to 2, which is 3 is not less than or equal to 2, so this will not run. Now that you all know how to make basic if statements, it's best that I taught you about the different logical operators. An example of this occurs in a game like Mining Simulator. So in Mining Simulator, we have stuff like ranks, where if you're within a certain mining range, you get a certain rank. Up on the screen, I'll put a screenshot showing exactly what I'm talking about. So you see here, in order to be the rank miner, you must be between 0 and 500 blocks mined. In order to be an amateur miner, the goal is to be between 500 and 1,000 blocks mined. So what logical operators allow you to do is to check multiple different conditions at once. Like in this case, we need to check if blocks mined is greater than or equal to 500 and less than or equal to 1,000. To do this, we can type in well, first we need to create in the blocks mined variable. So local blocks mined is equal to, let's just say 1,200. If blocks mined is less than it's greater than or equal to 500, and blocks mined is less than 1,000, then print amateur miner. Kind of nice about this is that it kind of reads like a sentence. If blocks mined is greater than or equal to 500 and blocks mined is less than 1,000, then print this. Now, what if we not only wanted to check if the user was an amateur miner rank, but also avid miner rank? We can add the elseif statement. So I'm gonna first type it out before explaining it. Elseif blocks mined is greater than or equal to 1,000 and blocks mined is less than 2,500, then print avid miner. So what the else if statement allows you to do is check alternative cases in case the if statement doesn't pass. So since blocks mined is definitely not in the range of 500 and 1,000, this fails. Therefore, it would check this else if statement to see if it's within 1,000 and 2,500. So if I were to create a third else if statement, else if blocks mined is greater than or equal to 2,500 and blocks mined less than 5,000, then print super miner. Remember how we talked about that this condition runs? Well, since this condition is met and avid miner will print out, the code will not even check whether or not this is plausible and within range. So let's say I also made it, like, if I just said blocks mined is greater than 1,000 and just deleted the rest of this. Although this statement is true, it will not run at all because of the fact that this else if statement has already ran before it. And let me show you what I mean. When I press the run statement, as you can see, only avid miner runs because it was deemed true first. Therefore, it doesn't need to check these alternative test cases. So once a condition is met in the if-else-if chain, it will skip over the rest of the conditions. Okay, now I'm going to teach you about the else statement. The else statement is a statement I'll run whenever the previous blocks of code is false. So basically, its condition is if this statement is false, if this statement is false, and if this statement is false. So basically, if all the if and else if statement fails, then this code is guaranteed to run. So we're going to print it is something else. Now we're going to, like, let's say we change it to 6,000 and run it. Because it's outside of all, because Block's mind will be outside of all of these ranges. When we press run, it prints out it is something else because all the other conditionals are false. Now let's say if I changed it to 400, 400 is also not in this range of 500 and 1,000. It is not in the range of 1,000 and 2,500, and it's not in the range of 2,500 and 5,000. So it still will print out it is something else. And when I press enter, as you can see, it does still prints out it is something else. So yeah. I'm going to end this video with 2 challenges. Also, please comment down below if you actually like the fact that I include challenges in my tutorials. I hope just to give you all practice so you can build up your skills. So this challenge is, identify which print statements are going to run. This challenge is pretty simple and should take most of you around 20 to 30 seconds to solve. So you should pause the video and take time to solve the problem as I give you a few seconds to do so. Okay, it's been a few seconds. I assume you have either finished or are feeling too lazy to attempt to complete it. In any case, I'm going to press play and, well, run, and here's the solution to the problem. No, it's not, and ABB is greater than or equal to 5. So what's happening here? So what's happening here is we created a variables A, B, and C, set them equal to 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Note how this has quotation marks around it, making it a string instead of a number. And strings cannot equal numbers, so even though A plus B is equal to 3 and C is also equal to 3, because they're different data types, this doesn't work. So the else statement prints, no, it's not. Now, for this part of the code, it prints if A plus B is greater than 5, then print ABB is greater than 5. Since A plus B, 1 plus 2 is equal to 5, this condition is not met, so it goes to this else if statement. Since A plus B is equal to 5, which is greater than or equal to 5, this statement will run. And as we've learned, since this condition is ran, the rest of these conditions will not run at all. So we can just skip over it, and print statements that run is no, it's not, and ABB is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, I have one final challenge for y'all. Given this code, which if statements do you believe it will run? Well, basically, what do you think the print output would look like? Feel free to pause the video as I give you a few seconds to come up with a solution. Have you finished yet? Well, I'm gonna just run it anyways. Should have paused the video. So what prints out is 2 pigs and there are 3 animals. So what's going on here? So we have 3 variables, animals, pigs, and cows. 3, 2, and 1 respectively. If animals is equal to pigs plus cows, then we'd run this block of code, and since animals 3 is equal to 2 plus 1, pigs and cows, then this statement does in fact run. If it weren't the case, this blank empty thing will run, and nothing would have been printed out. Now we get to this block of code. If pigs are equal to 2, if pigs equal to 2, then print 2 pigs. And since there are 2 pigs, it prints out 2 pigs. And then we also check afterwards, if cows are equal to 3, then print and 1 cow. But cows are equal to 1, whereas animals are equal to 3, so it does not print and 1 cow. Because this original statement passed, this else part didn't even run at all. So therefore, this if statement wasn't even considered. And now for this part, this if statement gets considered because it's not part of this if else chain. So if animals are equal to 3, then print there are 3 animals, and since animals does equal to 3, As established earlier, it prints out there are 3 animals. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and until next time, have a lovely day.